Hey everyone, I'm New Brian. And I'm Old Brian. Today we're going to see how our own third generation Toyota Highlander stacks up against that. This is the all-new 2020 fourth generation Toyota Highlander. And Old Brian, after this review, I think you're going to want to trade in that old one for this new one. We'll see about that right after this. The new Highlander is built off of Toyota's new global architecture, and physically it's bigger than the previous generation. The wheelbase and the length have been stretched by about 60 millimeters. The height is about the same, but it's a little bit wider. One of the most noticeable differences though is the styling. You have to admit, this has a lot more style than the outgoing one. Okay, I'll give you that, but it really should be a little bit more stylish than mine because this one is almost 6 years older than that new one. However, I do think that this version of the Highlander looks a little bit more rugged. It looks like an SUV, where I think the new one, it looks fabulous, I must say, but it looks more like a very sleek wagon. This one happens to be the top of the line Platinum trim, so it rides on 20-inch wheels instead of the standard 18-inch. But look at the styling, it has nicer angles and creases along the hood. It has standard LED headlamps with auto high beam. You have LED fog lamps. Even though the design looks sleeker, the front nose seems to actually be more upright than that of the previous generation. It does have a very nice upscale look, but I'm just not sure what's happening on the side there. Okay, I'll have to admit, from certain angles, that expressive line going up the side to the back can look a little bit odd. Kind of looks like maybe a dent, but in all other angles, I think it looks good. It makes this have a real hunkered down stance. The line just makes it look like it has flares in the back. And I think it kind of reminds me of another hot looking Toyota. Can you see Supra in this? I'm not completely sold on it, but I do have to admit that it is kind of growing on me. I've seen a few of the new Highlanders on the road now, and they really do have quite a presence. You really do notice them. The back of the new Highlander does resemble a little bit of the old one, and it is a Highlander. You have a nice stylish roof spoiler. I like the standard LED tail lamps, and they've been elongated now, they're longer. And yeah, overall, it just has a lot more style than the old one. This particular model has the hands-free option, a little kick, and up it comes. Now notice how fast this tailgate goes up. It's about 6 seconds, which is a lot faster than yours. I love that feature because this tailgate takes forever to open up completely, almost 9 seconds. Going down is actually about the same amount of time for both Highlanders. But can your Highlander do this? I can lift just my rear glass up, and it's really handy because if I have something to put into the back, I don't have to go through that whole sequence. Just throw it in the back and close it up. No, unfortunately, Toyota ditched that feature for this new version of the Highlander, and I really do miss it. Not only handy for putting things in and out of the back quickly, but also if you are transporting longer items, you can just flip that rear glass up and have it sticking out. Now, while we have the rear open, check it out. You have 60 millimeters more room for the cargo area with the third row seats up. Speaking of the third row seats, when you fold them down now, as they're going down, the headrests fold down by themselves. I do like that feature because on mine you have to manually extend or push down the headrest before you lower the seat, like so. But a lot of times when you have kids going in the back, you need to raise these up, and it's a little bit hard for them to do it. It'd be nicer just to be able to flip it up like yours. One thing that I would have liked to have seen added on the new Highlander is a 12-volt outlet in the back. It's just handy for those family outings, and you have things like powered coolers that you need power for. With the third row folded down, just like your Highlander, this one has a ton of room. Let's have a look inside now. Old Brian, you're gonna love the interior of the new Highlander. It's kind of like yours, except just better, newer, and just more technology. Take, for instance, now available, you can get a full color 10-inch head-up display. Speaking of displays, in your instrument cluster, an 8-inch display flanked by your analog gauges. That display can show you all sorts of menus, from your safety features to your radio stations. And then in the middle, you have a standard 8-inch infotainment system. Or if you go into the higher trim levels, you get this masterpiece, a 12.3-inch screen. This is really the way to go. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard across the board. Doesn't matter what display you do get, but on the 12.3-inch, you have so much real estate. You can be looking at, let's say, for instance, the Apple CarPlay here on one side, and on the other side, you can have a little bit of corner of your climate control, or you can have your radio stations or your media source. You can flip them around, very simple to use. Also, the screen has a very high resolution. So if you put the car into reverse or use the camera button, you have a very crisp picture and a large picture for your backup camera. Available also is a bird's eye view, a 360 view camera. This system is also compatible with using Waze, as well as Amazon's Alexa, as well as Toyota's in-house system, their Entune system. Now check this out. Let's say you have a whole carload full of people in the back, or a lot of cargo in the back, and it's obstructing your rear view out the back window. This is available, and this Platinum has it, comes standard, is a rear view camera mirror. You just flick it and your rear view turns into a display, and that's from a separate camera in the back, and it's a very wide view, unobstructed by the way, and it's perfect for those times when, let's say, you have a whole carload of balloons. So does your Highlander have one of those? No, but wait, there is more. You'll be a little bit familiar with this. You have a shelf system in the middle. I love this system. It has a kind of a hole that you can feed your cable through. So if you want to just put your phone and dock it right there. Also, the passenger has a tray system here, so you can put your sunglasses, your wallet. Very handy. 3 USB ports in the front, as well as a 12-volt outlet. There are no USB-Cs though, so that would be nice to see. In the rear, you also get 2 additional USBs, as well as a 120-volt AC power outlet. The middle trims get faux or fake leather seats, but on the top trim that we have here, you get real leather, and these seats are heated and they're ventilated. The Platinum is also equipped with Qi wireless charging. Right in the middle console here, there is a tray, and you put your phone on there if your phone is compatible with wireless charging, and you get that. This also has a heated steering wheel. Please tell me they've heated the whole steering wheel this time. Sorry, old Bri, this steering wheel is just like yours. It's heated only halfway. So come on, Toyota. I know you can do it. You've done it on other vehicles. Give us a full heated steering wheel. The interiors are kind of similar, but my shelf system, I believe, is bigger than yours. It does have more room. Yours is more stylish. It looks nicer, but I can fit more stuff here, and we've grown to really love these shelves. We have the pass-through for a cable. Yes, it does get a little bit cluttered sometimes. You just kind of throw your stuff in there, but our middle console as well is bigger. I think it's a lot bigger than yours. We have 2 doors. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here already. I have a camera bag here, and I'm going to put this bag in here, close it up, just like that. That could easily be a purse or jackets, whatever you want to keep out of view. It does it without issue. Try that in your Highlander. Okay, let's try it out. Flip that up there. No dice, not even close. Let's take a look at the back. The Highlander is available in either a 7 or 8 passenger configuration, and just like your Highlander, this one's equipped with the 2 captain seats in the second row. They slide farther now, which you can see here, they slide farther, so there's a little bit more room. That's one thing that I like about all Highlanders, is how much room that they give you in the back. These are also different feeling seats. They feel more comfortable than the previous generation captain's chairs as well. This also has the flip up rear shade like yours. You have your climate control, and in the center you have a middle console where you have 2 drink holders and a tray. There are also drink separations in the door panel as well. That's great because I love the second row, and so do the kids. I've tested a lot of other SUVs before buying this one, and I'm telling you, the second row is pretty hard to beat in the Highlander. One thing I like about our second row though is our middle console in between the 2 captain's chairs actually folds out of the way if you don't want to use it. Getting into the third row is fairly easy. There's a lever here and you just pull up on that. The seat slides forward. You have a step here, and I'm just going to close the door. All right, so there are 2 positions where this rear seat can be. So if you pull up, there's a more upright position there. Headroom. Yeah, you're not going to find a ton of headroom here. Basically, the area and space is very similar to that of the previous model. Let's just pull the seat back here just to show you. Okay. So, there we go. Now, right now, there is a decent amount of room for the second row passenger, but the floor is very flat and so are the seats. Yeah, I'm not even going to go back there. I've sat there several times and it's not that bad, but it is a little bit on the small side for larger people or for longer trips. Let's go for a drive now. Buyers have 2 options when deciding what to power their Highlander. The first is the one that we're driving right now, and it's unchanged for this generation. It's a 3.5 liter V6. It puts out 295 horsepower and 263 pound-feet of torque, and that's matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The second power plant is the hybrid, which we will be talking about later. All Highlanders, other than the base model, come with one of 3 all-wheel drive systems. For the gas versions, there's the standard dynamic control all-wheel drive system, and that has a driveline disconnect as well. And when you get into the higher trim levels like Limited or the Platinum, like we have right now, you get a dynamic torque vectoring all-wheel drive system. And that also has a driveline disconnect. This enhanced system can not only just apply torque to the front or rear wheels if you need traction, but it can actually control how much torque goes to either wheel side to side. This doesn't just make it better for bad weather driving, slippery conditions, but also makes it better for handling. So as you're cornering, it can actually use the torque vectoring to apply more torque to a certain wheel, and it helps the car rotate around a lot easier. And for both systems, the driveline disconnect, well, it's exactly that. If you are not needing the traction for that rear, it'll actually disconnect, so you're only using front wheel drive, and of course that's going to save you fuel. Those opting for the tow package, the V6 tow rating is unchanged, and that is 5,000 pounds. And the Limited, with this torque vectoring all-wheel drive system, also gets a multi-terrain select. So there is a knob or a dial in the middle console, and you can control. We can go normal, of course, we can go mud and sand, and we can go rock. It just allows you to fine-tune the all-wheel drive and the traction system to fit your needs. There's also hill descent control and a snow mode as well. Well, our Highlander Hybrid doesn't use the same system as those other 2. This is the 3rd system, and it uses an electric motor for the rear wheels. So there is no mechanical linkage connecting the engine and those motors. We've had this vehicle for almost 6 years, and I can honestly say that it's worked perfectly fine. In the wintertime, we live up on a hill. We've had some big snow dumps. That with some good tires, and yeah, we've had no issue getting anywhere with this at all. So what about the hybrid version? For 2020, the Highlander Hybrid is quite a bit different than your hybrid. It now uses a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine matched to the hybrid Synergy drive. So gone is the V6 that you have in yours, and it puts out a total of 240 horsepower. Boo! Our Highlander Hybrid with the V6 has a combined output of 306 horsepower. Take that! Yes, but the new hybrid gets an impressive 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers in combined highway and city driving. That is 19% better fuel economy than yours. And the best thing is this hybrid technology has been amortized over a long period of time. It's definitely been paid for, so the price is really not that bad compared to the gas version. Toyota really has priced this hybrid to sell, and it's basically $2,000 more than the gas version. When we bought this hybrid, it was about $5,000 more than the gasoline version. So for the new generation being a couple grand more, that's a no-brainer. Get the hybrid. I do like the almost 300 horsepower from the V6 though. You put it into sport mode with the selector. You have Eco, Norm, and Sport, and throttle response is quicker. The transmission reacts a little bit faster as well, holds the gears longer. Yeah, you should have no issue with the 300 horsepower in this Highlander. I think they've sprung the suspension very nice. This is a fairly rough road. It absorbs everything. It doesn't transfer through to the passengers. It's definitely noticeable how much better the suspension works with this new global architecture platform. They've tuned it very well for everyday drives, whether you are on the highway or freeway or a rough cottage road. This is made for everyday people. The steering is quite light in the Highlander. It makes it very easy to drive in the city. It doesn't matter what mode you're in, it's very easy to turn. And also, turning wise, the turning radius is very sharp, noticeably sharper or shorter distance than your Highlander. I have to tell you, the screen and camera resolution, especially on this 12.3-inch screen, is so much better for the backup cameras and the 360 camera on here than your Highlander. Standard on all Highlanders is Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, and that gives you radar cruise control, blind spot warning, and lane departure warning as well. Well, this Highlander has those as well, but yours doesn't have steering assist, lane tracing assist, a pre-collision system with pedestrian and bicycle detection, and these come standard on all Highlanders. Okay, you got me on all counts there. When we bought this, those features were only available on the top trim that we have here. So it's awesome that you can get it across the board now. I did get a chance to drive the new Highlander, and I must say that new platform is a lot better. There is nothing to fault with that, especially the suspension. This one's pretty jarring actually compared to that one. So Brian, what do you think? Are you ready to trade in your old Highlander for this new and improved Toyota Highlander? Well, new Brian, all I can say is you've done a pretty good job of selling that new Highlander. It's pretty convincing, so just let me leave you with this. We've had this for 6 years. We've had zero issues with it other than our head unit for the radio had a little bit of a glitch, and we brought it in. It was under warranty, and they just had to actually put some sort of a software upgrade, and that was it. 6 years, no other problems with it. It's been economical, it's comfortable, and it has all the utility that our family needs. And after 6 years, it still has great resale. So there is nothing to fault on it. Would I like yours with a new platform and all the new technology and that new styling? Of course. So would I trade this one in for the new Highlander? Probably not yet, just because it's just not different enough for me. However, if I didn't already own a Highlander, it'd be a totally different story. the new one would be at the top of my list for all the reasons that I just stated for this older one. And there are some new heavy hitters in this category, by the way, like the Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade. I like those a lot, but it's pretty hard to go wrong with a Highlander. You have the resale, you have the reliability, and you have a hybrid option. Fair enough. That's it for this week's review. If you like the review, make sure give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything, it helps me out, so make sure hit that subscribe button and share the video. Thanks for watching and stay safe.